Welcome to bonus episode number 2, Construction Nation. This is Sue Dyer, your host of Construction Dream Team, where I interview industry leaders and experts so you can learn how to build your construction dream team based on OPE, other people's experiences. The shortest way to success is to learn from others who have been there and done that. If you want to receive Construction Dream Team on your phone automatically each week, just head on over to constructiondreamteam.com, iTunes or Stitcher, or anywhere where you get your podcasts. We would love a 5-star rating. This actually helps to get us more visibility in the search engines so that more of Construction Nation can find us. This month's bonus episode is a masterclass about the 7 root causes of poor project communication. I wanted to do this because I hear so often that communication is the key to success for teams. And over the course of 10 years, we asked during our partnering sessions 134 different project teams, from your experience, what is it that makes a project succeed? And we also asked them the converse question, think about your entire career, what is it that makes projects fail? Over 95% of the teams said that good communication was the reason for the success, and poor communication was the reason for their failures. So this really is a great indicator that communication appears to be the key to project success. After working with over 3,000 different construction teams, we began to identify what the teams recognized as communication issues. They were actually a symptom and not the root cause of the problem. We also concluded that when a team works really hard and diligently to improve communication, it really can't make a significant improvement until and unless the team works to overcome the root cause of the problem. From working with hundreds of construction teams, patterns began to emerge, and we saw that there were 7 root causes of poor project communication. So let me share with you these 7 root causes. Root cause number 1 is fear. Fear makes team members feel the need to protect their own interest, to protect themselves. When we feel the need to protect, we're certainly not going to be open. Therefore, communication is going to be stifled. Worse yet, our communication is likely to be an argument about why we are right and others are wrong. Letter writing on positions and the inability to solve even simple problems is the result. Here's an example. I was working on a project with a project team where the resident engineer and the project manager got into a pushing match about the amount of asphalt that was being placed in digouts along a 12-mile stretch of highway. While the RE appeared to be argumentative and difficult, underlying was fear. Fear had taken over the RE, and his attitude became contagious to others on the project, to the point where they couldn't even agree on the measurement of a square where the asphalt was being placed. They measured that square over and over, never agreeing so that they could calculate the quantity. Both of them got so frustrated that it actually became physical. The RE was afraid he was going to be taken advantage of and that he didn't have enough money in his budget for all these areas that needed digouts. So instead, he resisted. Have you ever seen this? We see it quite often. Fear can also be pretty subtle. It plays out when you are not willing to share something. You're going to keep it inside and not say something. Maybe you're even tempted to say it, but you don't say it. And you don't say it because you're afraid of the reaction or they're afraid of what might happen. That is why transparency is always the antidote to fear. Root cause number 2, misaligned expectations. When the team members each have a different expectation on how things are supposed to work, you have misaligned expectations. Most often, this is over roles and responsibilities and maybe authority. With misaligned expectations, no matter how hard each side tries, they just can't seem to get together. The team may be communicating, but understanding is not happening. Here's an example. I was called in to help with a P3 project where there was an enormous amount of daily conflict on the site. Things were so heated that the project was falling farther and farther behind schedule. In the partnering process, we uncovered that the inspectors were still operating as if this project was a low-bid project and not as it was spelled out in the contract, where the developer was the inspector of record. The leadership was shocked that this was occurring on the site every day. They couldn't believe that that was actually happening. They said, that's not what's in the contract. But believe me, that was what was happening. Well, once everyone realized this, it allowed everyone to align the roles, responsibilities, and expectations, and the project team went on to build a very successful project. Root cause number 3, confusion. Where there is confusion, chaos will break out. Again, this can be over roles and responsibilities or over processes. When people aren't sure what they're supposed to do, not only does the team lose productivity, in other words, they stop to wait to see or stop to wait to get orders, there is also chaos, and the people move around trying to figure out what to do or what they're supposed to be working on. This is true at all levels in the project. If a decision is made but no one understands how it's supposed to be implemented, then you will end up with different people implementing different solutions, leading to chaos and what appears to be poor communication. Recently, a project team was having a lot of conflict in the field. It turned out that the inspectors were refusing to sign the daily logs. This went on for weeks until it came out in a partnering session that their inspectors were frustrated because the project manager would adjust the quantities after it went back into their office. To the inspectors, this seemed like they were lying to them. To the project managers, they needed to verify the actual numbers before they sent it into the official system. Because they didn't agree on the process, this led to a great deal of chaos on the project in terms of months of unpaid bills and piles of paperwork and really poor relationships, a lack of cooperation, really bad attitudes. Once they agreed on the process both sides felt was fair, then the frustration just melted away. Root cause number 4, loss of momentum. When everyone on the team is not in the boat, facing the same direction and rowing towards project success, the project loses momentum. The more frustration there is, the more loss of momentum you'll have. Frustration is caused when the team goes forward but keeps getting pulled back. Soon the project is behind schedule and communication switches to finger pointing, which causes even more loss of momentum. Here's an example. One team had a multi-head owner. In other words, there were more than one owner, 3 in this case. Sometimes there's 2 on other projects. While the contract was with one of the owners, so it was clear that the contractor was contracted with one owner, decisions required agreement amongst all 3. The team ran into unforeseen utility issues. Months and months went by without a decision on how to proceed. The field team tried to keep moving wherever they could, but the utilities were the critical path. Everyone became frustrated. There was a stalemate over who was going to cover the cost of this unforeseen condition. The team began to blame everyone and anyone. Soon, no one was motivated to move forward, and everyone just waited till a decision got made. And everyone on that project told us they wanted off that project. Just please let me out of here. This is also a great example of root cause number 5, which is dissatisfaction. Research shows that when project teams look forward to going to work, they have a very high level of job satisfaction. The project is very likely to be on time and on budget. When project teams dread going to work, the project is in deep trouble. When a project is not fun to be on, a sense of dread appears, and communication between the project team members is strained at very best. As the team with the utility issue that I just told you about showed in the root cause number 4, everyone wanted off that project. Certainly this impacted their communication and productivity. People that are unhappy don't do their best work. Root cause number 6, lack of commitment. When people aren't really committed to the success of your project, you have slack. It's like slack on a rope. You don't have a strong team focused on what it will take to succeed. Inadequate resources can also cause slack. The project team loses faith that they can actually achieve the project goals. Lack of communication is usually the result. Here's an example. One project manager was so excited to get his dream job. He thought that now he was going to take his career to a new level. Because this was a design-build job, he believed that he didn't need to be on the job until he hit construction. So he filled his time with other projects. This void played out during the design phase, and everything began to fall behind. Soon the owner was asking, "Where's the project manager?" The whole team became frustrated. Shortly, he was replaced, and his dream job was gone. The team had to rebuild their team now. So not knowing what your role is can certainly play out, but a lack of commitment over any time in the phase of the project will certainly play out. And the more key the person is, the greater impact it has until the team can't do anything but move forward without you. Root cause number 7, unconscious incompetence, or you don't know what you don't know. Inexperienced staff can face a very steep learning curve. Even one inexperienced person in a key role can cause havoc on your project. They just don't know what they don't know. So they focus on what is available to them, the specifications, the contract, the drawings. They must learn to resolve specific project issues as they occur. Often, documentation becomes the focus instead of problem solving because they don't know what they don't know. Here's an example. The owner had a flood of new projects, so many that they didn't have enough people in the field, so they brought in people from their design department to act as resident engineers. Conflict erupted almost immediately as the new RE kept spouting what the specifications said when the contractor asked a question. Soon, this frustration turned into letters, including many different specifications that the contractor was not abiding by. Of course, one letter begets another letter. Soon there were over 500 letters. No real communication was possible as both sides felt they were out to get the other. And this played out over the life of the project. So there you have the 7 root causes of poor project communication: fear, misaligned expectations, confusion, loss of momentum, dissatisfaction, lack of commitment, and unconscious incompetence. These root causes grow in impact with the size and complexity of your project. The ability to communicate gets more and more difficult as people get involved in the project. Think about how this grows exponentially. I have actually a graph in the show notes you can see. You can imagine in your mind that if you have two people, there's one line of communication between the two. 3 lines with 3 people, 6 lines with 4 people, and almost 200 lines with 20 people. So the root causes are more and more significant as your project size grows. There's also a snowballing effect once the root causes begin to create dissonance on a project. What might start out as a small issue over time will grow into an overwhelming issue that colors all of the issues. The team becomes unable to deal with the issues in a meaningful way. Over the life of the project, the level of dissonance will continue to grow. While these root causes can and do show up on any project, the different delivery methods have some specific risks of having root causes of poor communication play out. Let's just quickly look at those. In a design, bid, build project delivery method, low bid projects are often plagued by fear. Fear mostly surrounds dealing with changes that happen because the designer can't design a perfect set of documents, and the contractor must bid as if everything is perfect. This fear also plays out in loss of momentum and dissatisfaction when the team feels that they can't stop the madness of rehashing the same issues over and over to no avail. In a CMGC or CMR delivery method, projects can have misaligned preconceived beliefs on their roles and responsibilities. This conflict plays out without the team even realizing it. Each side believes they know what they're supposed to do, so they charge ahead and do their job. What they don't know is that they don't agree on what it is they're supposed to be doing. You also see confusion and fear emerge as the dissonance grows in power over the life of the project. Design build. There are many flavors of design build, and it can also be plagued with the same kind of communication root causes as experienced on CMGC and CMR. This is a unique challenge for design build when the designers are pitted against each other to protect their designs, such as in bridging documents, when it makes the one designer of record versus the bridging document designer. This conflict happens at the same time the designers are charged with integrating their designs into one cohesive and buildable design, and plays out often over the entire life of the project. This leads to confusion, loss of momentum, and a lack of commitment when the team feels that they can't achieve what is needed to succeed. And often a lot of blaming happens. IPD and progressive design build both require collaboration in order to work. So teams that don't understand this and bring adversarial approaches don't realize their unconscious incompetence is creating their inability to succeed using these delivery methods. You will see confusion and dissatisfaction grow as the expectation that this delivery method is supposed to provide better results is not met. P3s, public-private partnerships, are challenged with a multi-head owner and too often focus on shifting risk through the contract. This leads to a lack of commitment to helping the project succeed. The design builder and operator are left to try and figure out how to make things work, sometimes in an impossible scenario. This leads to fear, dissatisfaction, and loss of momentum. Any project can grow in its ability to have open, honest communication. You can't resolve what you don't see or understand. A structured collaborative partnering process is designed to develop a high-trust atmosphere that allows for these root causes to come to light, be dealt with, so that the team can grow in collaboration, momentum, and innovation. I hope that you enjoyed this masterclass. If you have any questions, please just add them to the comments on the constructiondreamteam.com comments area for the show notes for this episode. This is episode number 2 of the bonus episodes. So don't forget, Construction Nation, dream teams don't just happen. They are built one step at a time. Please send this out to your team. Talk about these root causes and see if you can do anything to root them out of your team. The more you have people helping you, the faster you can build your dream team. And remember, you can't have your dream until you build your team. Please head on over to constructiondreamteam.com to sign up for our newsletter. And don't forget to subscribe to Construction Dream Team on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere where you get your podcasts. And if anybody doesn't know how to catch a podcast on your phone, just give me a ring and we'll be happy to show you how to do that. For some people, podcast is a little bit new and it's very easy, but of course, everything's easy once you know how to do it. So please just give us a ring. Send me an email at sue@constructiondreamteam.com and we'll be happy to help. You'll also find the show notes here at the Construction Dream Team. And remember, we still have one more month for our Take a Picture with Your Team and Win a Free Lunch photo contest. So you can download the poster, take a picture with your team, and one lucky team will receive a free lunch for their entire team. Remember also, Construction Dream Team, our regular episodes drop every Monday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please join me next week, and I will interview another industry leader or expert so you can learn how to create your construction dream team. Next month's masterclass will be What Gets Measured Improves. Thank you so much for joining me. I will catch you next time.